Hello, hello. John Tierney here. I'm in Baltinglass in County Wicklow, an area I don't know very well, but it's quite close to the M9. I'm heading south down from up the country, heading home. And Esther asked during the week if I could call in and have a look at the workhouse burial ground. I'm just leaving here now, the site of the former workhouse. It's District Hospital, Community Hospital, workhouses.org.uk tells me that all the workhouse buildings here have been knocked down. But I thought I'd start there. The burial ground is a kilometre away to the north west, I think. It's up on the hill up here on the right. I'm going to head up there now and have a look. GA ground here on the left, Baltinglass GA. Their lot of jackpot for the week is over £4,000. You buy a ticket from the club and you're in for that jackpot every week. Tends to be the main way that the local clubs earn the funds that they need to run themselves. Now I can see the burial ground up there on the right, but I'm not sure where to go. Is it here? Or is it the next one? Looks like here, perhaps. Esther said Deer Park View. Or was there Laherley? Is that a boring gone up? Looks like. I have the camera on a stand, but I have an attachment on it that means I can't turn it back the way I want. I'll go back that way, I think. Maybe it's up here. How do I find out? No, I'm going up. You can see it from the road. I thought it was an unusual place for a graveyard, but Biera, because it's only a kilometre, they probably came out and brought the out. Have a look, see. Right of way to places like this. Oh, Jenny, I don't want to be blocking the farmer. I'll go back down. If I park back here and leave enough space so that a tractor and a trailer can get up, get in, I won't be doing any harm. Should be alright. We had rain a minute ago. Now I'll head up across the field. I'd say I'm buffering already. Hopefully this will save the video anyway. There. Sheep down the lower ground here. Thunder. We could be out in the field if there's lightning. Or banjacks then. Thistles and ryegrass. Oh my goodness. I don't know Wicklow very well, but I'd say we're a mixture of two counties here, maybe three. Could it be? No, it's two. I'd say we're in Wicklow and we're looking across to Kildare. I suppose this is very much a border type territory. Can't see. I think it's where the hospital, the workhouse was. Of the famine dead being brought out of workhouses by day and by night. And as the situation worsened and went on for longer, I got the impression that they came out later in the day, so it was less dispiriting for the general populace. But imagine they came by road. How did they come up this hill? It looks like a usable slope over there. We have to check what the boreens were at the time. So there's a great big enclosure here. Esther said it was rhomboid. Must have had a funny four-sided shape. It's certainly much bigger in the flesh than I thought. This is it here now, that nearest boundary. Gosh, there. That's where we're going. And if it's this big, why did they make it so big? Because they wanted to service the workhouse for decades. I guess that makes most sense. Oh, what a beaut. Baltinglass down there. Great big field boundary. Wonder what it's like inside. I guess these are the foothills of the Wicklow Mountains. And even though Wicklow is the county closest to Dublin, which historically, Dublin being the centre of the Pale, the area under English control for much of the medieval period, Wicklow was able to hold out. The higher status Wicklow family stayed in power for longer as Gaelic lordships because of the Wicklow terrain, these mountains, these hills, Hardy boys and girls. Okay, I presume there's a formal entrance somewhere. Right. Right. Okay, this is us now. It's about the same size as what we saw in Carolina today, which was something like 60 to 50 metres wide, 100 metres long. Grass kept down by the grazing sheep, which is good. Oh, this is a real mountain, or a real hill wilderness. Okay. There's the hospital down there, am I right? Just trying to see now. What are we going to see? Are we going to see graves? Single graves? Depression there. There's more of a break of slope here. She's going in up. Is there any chance that this is the remains of a grave? Of a common grave? Or is it just a break of slope? Potentilla, I think, little yellow lad. There's a dog leg in the field boundary here. It's all gorse in the field boundary. Did it come in on the top side? Here. There's an altar of sorts down below, we'll go down there. If there's graves all over, they're up here too, on this shelf. Nothing standing out just yet. I'm all thistles in my shoe. There now, after walking across it, a hollow. Something there. Okay. Okay. So there's this high corner shelf. They've rolled large stones. It's an earthen boundary. Some kind of a beast coffin. Mint? No. Sharp break of slope going down. I'd have the funny feeling now that I have a small section of burial up there, break a slope, maybe not buried on, and then the lower section is here where the burials will be. Okay, I'm on a bit of a ridge, maybe a bank. There. There. Something rough there now. I'm just looking for these linearities again. You use your imagination to try and spot them. Broken ground. I'd say brambles take over here occasionally. Having the sheep here is super. gives full access. Concrete platform, fairly modern. Granite, limestone flag on top, an owl or something leaving their remains, nothing inscribed in it. Yeah. There's something here. Not convinced of any of these. When I say you get your eye in, what I mean is that based on experience, you can spot certain things. But the trick for doing it is you kind of imagine it first. You use your imagination to say, that could be one, that could be one. And then by a process of elimination, you rule out the ones that definitely aren't. So here now, you're saying, look, that's a contender. And as you look at him harder, little sheep nests. But even still, there's a feeling here. When I say feeling, I don't mean I've got a spiritual feeling. I mean, what I mean is that I can visualize there being graves here. I'll go over this way now as well. There's dips here now. Turned their way back. What's this? What's this? Alright, okay, there's potentially a series of hollows here. 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 Now, could be somebody carrying something out of the field. Is it sand here? Sand pits? No, there's something stronger here. Something stronger here. But yeah, so we're in half the slope, we're halfway here between the top and the bottom. Maybe they were able to dig in, or else it's tied in with the farming whenever this went out of use. I think what we've learned looking at these sites is that the workhouse down there opened in 1841. She was fully on the go October 1841. They added on sheds or something in the height of the famine, those late 1840s, but I couldn't see any any indicators for how many people might be buried here. The workhouse stayed in use until around 1920. Is that right? Became a barracks for a while. So there could have been people buried up here. Alright, up into the corner. There's a level section here now. So this is right in the south east corner. There are depressions to be looked at. So I think I'm kind of picking up in my head that it's at the more level ground in this middle slope area that I'm looking back on now, and here in this corner where we're potentially seeing some kind of cuts. There might be graves, and then is it possible that there were single graves down here, nothing shouting out. There's a slight mound here. Some of these could be signs from the sheep later on. You've had 175 years, maybe more, of sheep using this ground. vetches. Dips, hollows. I'm not seeing any memorial stones, which is what we've seen elsewhere for the later workhouse only burial ground. There's a bank and a ditch inside. So they dug out their soil here and they piled it up on the outside lip. An easier way of doing it really. You're piling downhill. So we'll have one scan around. Lovely peaceful spot up on a hill, looking out over Wicklow and Kildare. I'll leave her there, head back before, excuse me, feels like it might rain again. Down to Baltinglass. Alright, so this has got a lot of potential, it's very interesting. Thanks to Esther for pointing it out. Anybody else have any suggestions, just let me know. I don't know, I think we're hearing ravens. They're loud enough, but it's a big enough flock for them to be rooks. Okay, I'm going to go now. Slán.